What's up, guys? This is Rick from DFS On Demand, and this is your preview for the Memorial Tournament. All right, the Memorial Tournament. This is a good one. It's being played at Muirfield Village, 7,300 yards, and your standard par 72. David Linkmerth, your defending champion, getting his first PGA Tour victory. And there are plenty of birdies to be made here if you can hit the green, courtesy of Rob Bolton, our friend from PGAtour.com. It has the fourth highest birdie percentage when you hit the green. So good ball strikers will certainly come at a premium here this week. There's a really interesting situation going on at the top of the salary this week. Three guys in Spieth, Rory, and Jason Day that are significantly more expensive than the rest of the field. But it's Jason Day is the guy that I want to talk about because I think he's in the most interesting scenario. He's 12,400, so he is the most expensive player on the slate, but he's the best player on the planet right now, and it's not even remotely close. His last 20 events, he has 7 wins. That's insane. 13 top 10s and 19 top 25s in his last 20 events. That is absolutely insane. Now, where things get a little iffy here is his course history. He considers Muirfield Village his home course. He lives in Ohio, but he's had very little success, as you can see by his numbers down there at the bottom. In the last 7 years, he has no better finish than a tie for 27th. Really scary when you're investing in a guy who is the most expensive player on the slate. However, I tend to think that form outweighs course history, so I won't touch Jason Day in cash games, but he's certainly a GPP guy because you know he can win the event. 7 wins in his last 20, but a really interesting situation this week. Matt Kuchar is going to be very highly owned, and for good reason. He's $9,900, so he's kind of just in the third tier of pricing, maybe the second tier, depending on how you want to break them up. But under $10,000 is a great value for Kuchar, who is red hot right now. A tie for third, a solo third, and a T6 in his last 3 events, and he has absolutely scorched Memorial in the last 8 years. He's won it once. He has 7 top 15s. He has 5 top 10s. His worst finish in that time frame was a T26 last year, so Matt Kuchar is a guy that I will have plenty of this week, and I'm sure everyone will have plenty of. The most interesting thing that comes out of Matt Kuchar and his pricing is whether or not you want him to be your most expensive player. I would prefer to pair him with a guy who is more expensive, maybe a Matsuyama, a Fowler. If you have a lot of value plays, maybe you can get a Jason Day in there, but I'll be interested to see how highly owned he is and on how many of those lineups he's going to be the most expensive player. And then finally, your value play is Soren Keldsen, who is $6,600 and mostly makes his living on the European Tour, which is why you may not have heard of him. To be quite honest, if he was on the Euro slate this week, he'd be one of my top golfers. I just love his recent form. He's a Danish guy who's going to be where that tournament's being played in Sweden. But we can talk about that another time. This is for the PGA Tour event this week. He missed the cut last week at the BMW Championship, which might actually be good. He fired a solid 2 under on Thursday, and then I think he was like 3 or 4 over on Friday and missed the cut. But I think that's going to allow him to get over to the States, get across the pond, get settled in a little earlier than normal. So it may actually be beneficial that he missed the cut last week. He's certainly not a guy who's unfamiliar with PGA Tour events. He's played 5 of them this season, mostly the World Golf Championships, the Tour Championship, the Masters, and he's made 4 cuts. T7 at the Masters, so an excellent showing at one of the most prestigious events in the world. So this guy can certainly hold his own. He has 14 top 10s in his career, with 11 coming either this season or last, and that's worldwide. So he's a guy who's been a professional for a long time, but is clearly playing the best golf of his career right now in the last year and a half. And I think this is a really good opportunity to get him at $6,600, and he's certainly going to be 1 or 2% owned, probably very low. All right, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and click the thumbs up button below, and I'll keep making them. See ya.